2 months ago, a friend called me and was like, "Hey, Dara, I need an interface for a mobile application I am trying to build." And then my first answer to the friend is, "I don't build mobile apps, and I can't do that for you." So I had contacted a freelance designer who promised to get that done in 2 weeks. But I don't have 2 weeks. I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. So I started looking for a way to, build that interface by myself. So I saw UX Pilot, and I built the same interface in 2 days. I was able to call my friend and tell my friend like, hey, I got your mobile app interface now. Let me know what you think. So I sent that to her. My name is Dara, and I'm a self-taught developer. Actually, I studied GIS. It's maybe a fancy word for geographic information system. You've all seen your Google Maps. Those are the people that build maps, right? We do all of that digital ground mapping and also building out the map. Um, when I was in my program, we were introduced to QBasic, and that was my first step into learning how to code. I got more curious, and I wanted to do a lot of things in coding. So I started doing more web technologies, HTML, JavaScript, CSS. I started building websites. So graduating from college, I got a job as a web developer at a startup company. I also worked in 2 other startups before finally getting a job in the bank. So at the bank, I worked as a robotic process automation developer. And I promise I don't know what that is all about at the time. So I had put in for a software engineering role, and they had told me, oh, we have RPA there, and if you want to do that. Well, I started doing that, and it was my first step into visual development. I was using Blue Prism and connecting different workflows. Also, I was introduced into automation for the first time. I was really, really interested in that. I've always had this passion about attending hackathons and competing, and a lot of times I've won in hackathons, but I really actually want to get the product that I build into the hands of people who are going to use it. But well, I wouldn't say I've done a good job in that because most times I fail in that. So people get this product and they don't really want to use it. So I thought of getting a degree in technology and innovation entrepreneurship just to understand the business side of things. And that was the turning point for me, really. Like, I want to fix things that really matter, like work on real world project that solves real problem. The realization for me from the program is in the business world, especially for entrepreneurs, they really want to build very, very quickly and pivot like fast. They want to get feedback and they don't have time to be waiting for me to build for like a month using traditional coding, for 3 weeks. So I started using no code. I got introduced to no code, automation, started using Zapier to build backend and workflows. Oh, just before that, I'm also from Nigeria. I don't know, I didn't share that. And the transformation for me is I moved from being a backend guy who only know how to write Python and PHP to build backend of web apps or mobile app to understanding how to bring in no code and other modern technologies like MCP, AI to actually do projects that cause real world impact. Also to mentor and collaborate with other people. That image right there was actually AI generated. So excuse me if it is not that clear. So somebody asked me why hybrid? Why do I need to, like, why should I know how to maybe code if you already know code, or if you're already coding, why should I know no code? So the first thing, efficiency fuels innovation. So like I said before, rapid prototyping. Now you have shorter time of development, right? I build for shorter time now. And building with shorter time also means you can get that product to the hands of your potential customers and get feedback, and then you can pivot really quick, which is really, really essential in the entrepreneurship world. Second thing is, personally, I have experienced 60% reduction in my learning curve when I try to learn modern technologies. Last month, I think I took a break off LinkedIn for about 2 weeks. I'm like, I'm not gonna come on LinkedIn. I'm getting too much pressure and I just want to relax. And then when I came back, I saw people talking about MCP. And I'm like, what is MCP, But I was able to learn fast. Zapier built Zapier MCP. I was able to get on that, watch a lot of videos, and it was really fast for me. comparing that to last year, when I started learning about AI agents and trying to build chatbots, I had started learning how to build with Python and LangChain, writing the code. And it was taking me forever to actually build an AI agent or to host it. At the end of the day, I found out about voice flow, and I built the same AI agent in one day, and that was really good for me because now I have all of these ideas in my head, and I can quickly build that and give it to friends to test it out and give me feedback real quick. Second thing, code when necessary and create always. So currently I work at Rise, and what we try to do is we teach entrepreneurship to young founders and students. And I've always been an advocate of only code your maybe P. And what we call maybe P is you have a new idea and it has never been tested. That is your maybe P. When you go to the market and you test it and it works, then it becomes a product, right? I've always told them, like, focus on that new thing you want to build instead of building another authentication system that already exists. Also, this also leads to mastering problem solving. For example, I also tell my code friends that I feel coding is not only about writing code, right? The real job you do is problem solve. So that's where you understand the problem actually that someone is facing, understanding their pain points, and also trying to take them from that pain point to a new way of solving that problem. Like I said before, start from the new. So for example, my friend was gonna build an AI product that scans your receipt and then tells you when your grocery, so it scans your grocery receipt and tries to tell you when your grocery is going to expire. And I didn't have to build all of this login system or authentication at all. We started from the new, which is how do I scan this receipt and get all of this information in my database? That is what no code can do for a developer, right? Before, I will start building everything from scratch by myself. And the last thing, it also leaves room for collaboration. I think I've been in different communities since I started doing more of, doing no code and being an hybrid developer, doing no code and code together, being in different communities, talking to different people, and also when I meet clients, also trying to communicate more and understand them more. Compared to when I was just coding, it's always about, hey, Dara, can you build this or that? I don't know why I'm building that, and I don't even ask. I just want to write the code and give it to you. Like, oh yeah, it is working. When I sit with people trying to learn about their pain point or why they think that is what they should be doing right now. And I promise I enjoyed that better than when I was just writing code. And then the last thing here is, what are the new opportunities that are out there when you go hybrid? So there have been like new jobs that I have seen personally out there that I'll be like, oh, really? You pay someone for that? And part of it is AI automation engineer. A lot of people now can say, oh, I'm an AI expert because they could use no code to build very, very fast and a new AI product. And that one is API integrations designer. So a lot of apps right now are employing people to start building APIs because they want to make sure that their apps can communicate with Zapier, Make, and other integration tools. And this last one was very, very funny when I saw it, AI Agent Product Manager. And I saw it on LinkedIn. And it was funny because this is not about managing people, and it's more of managing AI agents. Like, come to think of it, like managing bots. So all your job looks like is to make sure that your AI agents are working smartly every day. If you're here and you're asking like, oh, what do I need to know? Where should I start from? I've gotten this kind of questions a lot, especially for people who are already in no code and they're like, I'm overwhelmed. People are talking about new things every day and I don't know what to do. Or maybe you're also a developer and you're wondering, where should I start? What is this no code everyone is talking about? First thing, for no coders, you want to learn more about APIs and webhooks. And you can do that with Python and with JavaScript. And you can even go to LLMs like ChatGPT and put it in there like, teach me APIs or teach me webhook. And it's going to teach you step by step what you need to know. And you start from there, and then if you get more curious, then you keep working. I've also been someone that tells people a lot like, your challenges and new projects is going to widen what you need to know. So you don't need to rush it. If you don't, If you don't know what to learn now, it's okay. Maybe you don't need to learn anything. Maybe you just need to build proficiency in what you already know. But when you have new challenges, with new challenges comes new opportunities. For developers, you really want to know about all of these tools that we've been talking about. For example, Zapier, Make. You really want to go back and learn about the limitations of all of these tools and also learn about their strengths so you know what they can do for you and how you could use them in your own development. Again, I work with Rise. We try to teach entrepreneurship to young founders and to students. And I'm going to talk briefly on how we use no code and AI to combat student absenteeism. So students not coming to classes for whatever reasons has been a very big problem in edtech, especially in education back in the US. And we really want to know, like, why are they not coming to class? Is it about the program? Is it about what they are feeling personally? So we started trying to build a system that can monitor and advise us on that. And the interface you see at the other side is from Airtable. So we use Airtable for all of our database management, and we also use that to build interface internally for us to interact with it, and externally to send reports out to people. So quick links where we can view different things, and then I'm going to talk about where we were at when I joined. So the first thing, our facilitators make a lot of manual calls. So they call, like, when students don't turn up for their program or for classes, they call parents and then they call schools like, hey, we didn't see this guy or we didn't see John, what's going on, And then it was so tedious and it was so hard to monitor or to notice when they miss any calls. So that was a lot of stress for them. Then we have a lot of data that we are getting back and we were not actioning on. So a lot of people say, oh, I'm not coming to class because of this or because of that. But at the end of the day, we're not even doing anything with all of that information. And then we have a lot of lagging report. So we're supposed to send the report back to parents, to schools about, hey, your student came to class today and they actually showed up. But sometimes we miss sending that. And also, like, we have 1 million spreadsheets tracking different schools' attendance. So it's also hard because the number of students we have from different schools are up to like maybe 10 sometimes from each school. And that was so hard managing all of that spreadsheet. Also, because it's a small team, it's a lean team, and then we lack a lot of infrastructures, to do all of these things that we want to do. Now, going to where we are at now, students are able to check in, come to class and automatically check in by themselves without a facilitator looking, like, hey, it's John here, So they're able to do that now. And now we also have an automated system that sends weekly reports to schools and to their parents. Another very exciting thing is we have automation that gets triggered every time a student doesn't come to class. And then it sends that notification to their schools and to their parents, notifying them like, hey, your student didn't come to class, what's going on? That's a bot interactivity. And then we also have AI that sorts through all of the responses we get back. For example, when a parent or a school responds to the email or to the text message, we take that in and make sure it goes to the right place on the database. And last but not the least is the dashboard, which I built with AI. I didn't build the dashboard by myself. Building with AI, it shows trends of absentees and reasons that they might be absent. When I built my first dashboard with AI, I didn't tell anybody I used AI to do that. But then everybody started getting very, very interested in the dashboard. And they're like, hey, Dara, how did you know that you need to bring out this insight? And I'm like, oh, I use AI for that. And they were so like, oh, really? So I showed them Airtable, I showed them the dashboard, and how I had done that. And they were really, really excited. Now, I don't know. I'm thinking of calling myself a dashboard expert now because of that. Because a lot of people will be like, hey, Dara, do you want to build a dashboard for me? I don't even know the stories I need to tell from all of this data. But I think you might be able to bring some things out. But, well, I'm not going to take credit for that, all thanks to AI. So at this other side, you can see a sample interface that our facilitators, interact with. It has name of students, and these are not real data. I kind of just use John Doe to kind of protect the information of our students, right? So you're able to see the name of the school, And then you're able to see the name of the student and if they are absent or if they are present in class. And although we have an automation that triggers every day to check if a student is absent, I also built this to make sure that facilitators can take action by themselves. So they could come back here and click on notify parents manually if that didn't happen. And then we have the action status that shows if there has not been any action taken, or if you had notified a parent, or if you have gotten a feedback from a parent or from the school why the student is absent. And on this other side, you can see some of the automation that powers this, right? We use open phone also, to send text messages to parents and to schools about the status of their student. One more interesting thing is we also use the same open phone for generating OTPs among every staff member. And AI figure it out for us when we get the responses back from parents or from schools, or when we are getting OTP messages. So we didn't have to buy or subscribe to a lot of open phone numbers. I don't know if open phone will be excited about that, but anyway, we are saving money and we're excited. I've gotten this question a lot, like what side are you on? Because like I said, I started with web development, doing a lot of back-end development. I have a lot of code friends that are still writing codes. And now I think I have as much no-code friends or even more, right? And sometimes when I'm in conversation with them, they do ask me hey, what side are you on now? Are you still writing code or not? We don't know what you do these days. Are you still writing code? And I always tell them why choose a side when I can, bridge the gap between these two and create more amazing products, or maybe even power up my automation more. I've also seen a lot of no-coders who really don't want to do anything in coding, and they frown at this tool is not no-code enough because why should I have to write anything? But I also think at some point you want to scale and you want to be able to build more than what is already available in maybe Zapier or Make. For me, I'm able to save a lot of money because I could add an action step into Zapier to make it do what doesn't exist on Zapier. I assume every other person needs to find another platform that can do that for them, And this is why I'm bringing both of them together actually give you a new kind of superpower to be able to do complex automation and do more. So it's not all about, oh, no code is not good enough. It will never be good enough. People who write code, or coding is too complex and I don't need it. It's more about understanding what the strength about no code is and what the strength about coding is, finding your fit in between and seeing how you can use that for every product that you build, empowering yourself. And if not for anything, also we all talk about 2FA every day. There is the career 2FA where you're always attractive in the market because you know how to do all of these things. So if you don't do it for the product, maybe do it for yourself. Well, thank you so much. That's all I got.